Hello, this is another video in a series of well-being, physical, spiritual, and psychological well-being according to the portions of the Torah. It may seem for somebody from the outside it's only referring to and only applicable to Jewish people, which is not the case. The Torah is actually the blueprint of the entire creation. Everyone, Jews and non-Jews alike, men and women alike, adults and children alike, animals alike, angels alike, and even higher structures than that, all have the same kind of connection to the Almighty Creator. So when he gives advice, it's the correct advice, it's a good advice, and it's very important to follow it. Not because I say so, even not because the Torah itself said so, but simply because God had so decided and inscribed in his creation how things should go right. We live in a very bad time when things are wrong are all upheld as good and okay. Yes, there is a change. And we saw that in elections, both in Israel and in the United States of America, that there is a change. And all kinds of things that people want to push into the center, into the mainstream way of life, are not going to be pushed as strongly anymore or altogether. I remember when I was studying psychology in a university in Vancouver, Simon Fraser University, there was a very good and well-respected professor, Dr. Flock, I think was her name, and she, in the year 2000, or just before, when they wanted to mainstream everyone, people who were in wheelchair, who couldn't move, who needed the support, they wanted to bring everyone, including the support staff, into a regular class. And she, the name will come back to me, she, who was an educator and a professor for education for decades, she, who was so good to everyone and believed in giving a person whatever their situation need, came out fighting against her nice nature against this idea. And she naturally and unfortunately was totally right. If you put in a classroom a child, boy or girl, who's totally paralyzed and the only communication they have is through some kind of a machine of this kind or that kind, and there's an adult helper having to stand there, it disrupts the class, the child doesn't benefit from what they need, which is basically more one-on-one in a proper environment for them. Definitely give everyone what they need, but don't try to push everyone to the same pot. Canada is not America, it's not a melting pot, though are attempts to make it such. But the point I came out with, or the idea, or the comprehension I came out with was, let everyone be. Don't push things which are not natural and not real. Yaakov exits Beersheba, the hall of study, the hall of peacefulness. His parents let him go to study in a yeshiva of the time, not like our today. It's a yeshiva that was a place where the great people explained to the angels what's going on. He was there for 14 years. And as we know, he did not sleep at nights. He learned. So why would Yaakov leave Beersheba and go to the exact opposite, to Haran, which was a place of cheatery, idol worship, idolatry, terrible sexual improprieties, all sorts of bad things which were totally against him, his nature, and seemingly his purpose in this world. However, When Yaakov left Beersheba, the study hall, the peacefulness, or what is called the comfort zone, and went to Haran, he changed Haran. Not only that he was an honest person and raised a big family without cheating, without lying, without doing anything that God has forbidden us to do. This was girls. This was a very good thing. The whole purpose of Yaakov going to Haran is to make the Haran a better place, but even more so, to make him, to reveal in him, in Yaakov Avinu, the father of the Jewish people, his greatness, his godly side. This can be done for everyone. Because the reality is that when our souls are being sent down to this world to live in a physical body that is not exactly the purest thing in creation, no physical body is. You have to work on it. You have to watch what you eat, how you eat, where you eat, what do you do, what do you say, how you sleep, how you have relations. Everything is governed to teach you to go the way, the holy way, and the better way. And therefore Yaakov Avinu, Jacob, had the ability to come down. That's the structure of his name, Yud, which is a supernal Chochmah. Coffee. Brought down, Akev is the heel, all the way down. What was the outcome? The light penetrated the worst place. The godly light reached the worst place, and changed it for the better. Moreover, my point here, or the biggest point in all of the idea of creation, all idea of the Torah, all idea of God's instructions to us, be it the 613 mitzvahs for the Jews, or the 7 which govern the non-Jews, it's all for a betterment. And as a result of him going to that place and doing his job, which is what happens to the soul when it comes down to this world, he got elevated and was called Israel. What is Israel? It's a lofty name. Today all the liars and the cheaters and the thieves and the murderers abuse the name Israel terribly. I am one. I am an Israeli. And it's only a miracle that nothing happened to me as a result of our violence. Well, partially miracle and a lot of training. There's no excuse to accept murders. When the Israeli governments gave up land and ran away and let murderers live, you are a participant in the murder. That's all there is to it. It goes for everything. When we see a guy looting and then run around, scream Black Lives or Hispanic Lives or whatever it would be, we are facilitators. No, it's not right. No, what's done is not right. It's not right for anyone to steal the border of any country and come in and live there illegally. It's not right. We can make it right. And therefore, when Yaakov came out of his study hall, he came out loaded with power of learning and elevated and being strong, not strong enough just to survive the world, but even more so to change it for the better. And that's it, the point. These books around here say, let's be good. The point of this video is let's take that beauty which we all have inside, inclusively, and get it out. Today, I got this camera and this microphone. I don't know how much it was, 200 Canadians dollars altogether. So many people have cameras, microphones, probably better than me, and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And spend most of the time criticizing politicians. Most of the time they voted in. Let's stop it. Let's use our means, those wonderful means, a computer, a good camera, a good microphone to say good things. Now I live in Canada, and Canada has an interesting prime minister. And I was asked by a local French Canadian, point blank, what do I think about him? What do you think about this? I said, I don't agree with his policies, but I don't know. And I was going across his desk every day. I'm not going to criticize him, because it's not right, it's not fair. I should take care of what I do. Look at myself, that's what we should do, look at ourselves. Not criticize someone we barely know, and we only act on and respond supposedly on rumors. Let's give you an example. I don't know how to his name. This guy who's talking anti-Semitic, you think he's a black guy. Supporting the Nazis, but then Nazis to black people is unspeakable. But West something, West or East. Kenya, I don't know, West, yeah. So the people say, what do you say about it? What do I care? What should I waste my time on what is he, a rapper? Or what does he do? He's a rapper, he's a big rapper. What do I care what some black rapper in America says? He's got his own issues. Even if he will be a white rapper, there's enough white people who hate the Jews, who hate the blacks, who hate but you name it, they hate it. That's not the point. I have no opinion of it, I don't care about it, I'm not going to waste a second, that I could use my time to do good. And that's why Jacob left Beersheba, the study hall, the peacefulness, the comfort zone, came down to this world. That's the descent of the neshama, the soul, into the body, in order to change it and get himself elevated. Let's use that example of one of the greatest people in history, who had 4 wives, a terrible brother, 25 children. His uncle, who was his employer for a long time, was the biggest cheat on the planet. Yet he's not just survived them all, he grew to the point of maximum of his personality and tried to change them for the better. Let's do good. Take the goodness which is within us and bring it out, and stop using the attribute of speech and all the wonderful gadgets God Almighty has given us in His goodness and His kindness, and use them for the better. All the best to everyone.